make on a nice game?
Yeah, I thought we played some fantastic soccer and did a wonderful job getting out front 2-0. Started the second half, really good again. Unfortunately, didn't get that third goal, which was tough because we make a mistake in transition, give up a goal, and then all of a sudden it's a one-goal game that it shouldn't, in my opinion, have been a one-goal game at all. But we held on. We did what we needed to do. And I believe that makes us the Eastern Conference regular season champions, correct, Linda?
The only thing is that Hartford won tomorrow and won by like 10 goals. The goal differential will be tight.
So we need to wait a little while longer before we celebrate with a bourbon.
In essence, though.
Nah, in essence we are.
What does that home field advantage through the playoffs mean to this club?
It's massive. This is our new building, and our owners have built this, and it's the best building in all of the USL. It rivals any MLS team. It's a soccer-specific building in Louisville, Kentucky, which is amazing. You guys know that more than I do. So for us to be able to host, we still have to win every game, and if it's Pittsburgh next week, or if it's Hartford, whoever it is, that'll be our main objective. But the opportunity to play the next weekend here, the next weekend, and hopefully the whole thing, that would be fantastic.
Coach, it's noticeable that Napo hasn't been in the lineup the last few weeks. Do we expect to see him back soon for the playoffs?
We hope so. He took a pretty nasty kick in the Indy game. Kevin, you can go back and look at it. It's on tape. And his Achilles heel gets raked and he rolls his ankle. And so he basically has had a high ankle sprain that we were dealing with. Got him back pretty close, and then lo and behold, he gets injured in training. And so it's been a while for him. But thank goodness, I think we'll get him back. Corbin was out tonight. Had a not as bad a situation, but had a knock from St. Louis last week, and we just decided to rest him. So hopefully we'll have everybody healthy and prepared, and make our coaching jobs very tough in the week in terms of selection.
John, you never, like you said, you felt like you could have gotten, maybe should have gotten that third goal. Was there any sort of nervous energy going on down here when their chances weren't going?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I thought Cameron got taken out, I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy PK call, and then somehow it doesn't get called. And but Totsch has a free header there at the end. I mean, we missed a lot of chances that we had to finish in the second half. So that's the only thing we'd be critical of. But I really think that we controlled that game for most of it in long stretches. So
I know the AR2 that was over there, so I'll be worried with him.
I know. I thought it was hilarious in the 50th minute. It was like our sixth corner kick of the second half, and he's telling Oscar to hurry up like we're wasting time. And that was the first thing I said to the fourth official all night. It was like, hey, we're not wasting time. We're trying to get a third goal here. So
going back to SKC's goal, it felt like you guys had numbers back, but there was the dummy by the guy running over it. It's just kind of what went wrong there from your point of view.
It started higher up the field. We were pushing forward, and in a transitional moment, we didn't do a good job addressing the first ball forward, and that's where we should have killed that play and gotten all our numbers back. Instead, we started to scramble. I thought Oscar did a good job 1v1 in the corner. We didn't do a good job. We got back there, but we didn't match up when we needed to match up. So certainly an area, and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. If everything would have been great and we would have been, rolled out a 4-0 win or something, maybe we wouldn't have as much for me to yell at these guys about on Monday. So something for us to critique and analyze and go back and look at.
Finally, for me, Cam, he can kind of score from anywhere. Takes on 3 or 4 defenders. Just again, how valuable is it to have a guy who can just go out there and do it himself?
I've said it for a long time. I think he's the best goal scorer in this league, and he shows that on a lot of nights. Glad he showed one of those moments tonight.
Be remiss if I didn't ask about what happened before the game with Sean, and it looked like everybody was in on that except for his fiance.
Everybody, and I'm thankful that he looped me into that. That was quite an occasion. So I just told the boys, as we all had a great night. We won the Eastern Conference regular season championship. Totsch had a an unbelievable night. Gets married or gets engaged to the love of his life, does it in a way that, I thought it was great that his idea was to include all of us, and that he feels so strongly about this being part of his family that he wants us to be there. Her family was here, his family was here, so it was a wonderful moment. I just was a little worried that he would get too emotional, and I told him if he started crying, then I was going to start crying. Fortunately, I got away before I saw the tears running down his face. Anybody want to ask me why I have this massive scar on my face? Jesus.
I was going to ask you about that.
It's because I partake in the cycling that Kevin does sometimes, and this is a true story. I am on the pathway between New Albany and Jeffersonville last night. Beautiful night for a ride. There's nobody out except for me and a 10-year-old kid on a BMX bike and a squirrel. And the squirrel took me down. Like, the squirrel jumped in my wheel, and actually I'm really quite thankful that my helmet, which shattered, took the blunt of the blow, but then my face and my shoulder. So our medical staff's been doing treatment on me since then, but I think some adrenaline's pumping through my veins, so I think I'm all right for it right
Glad
now.
you're all right.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? I'll let you.
Before you leave, you all finished the season on an 11-game unbeaten streak. What does it mean to take that kind of momentum with you all into the postseason?
Yeah, that's the way we like to do it. We get on that momentum train, and we're going to ride it all the way to the finals. That's what we plan to do. Again, it's always about, for us, our performance and how we build on things, and we've done that, as you said, 11 games in a row, which is really impressive in our sport. Got 4 more to go. Thank you.
All right, what do we talk about first? The win or?
Should have scored tonight. It would have been the perfect night if I would have scored.
You did score. You have a fiance now.
That is true. I did score there.
Were you out there thinking that would be like the icing on the cake sort of moment?
I'm just out there having fun, and that's how it's felt this year. And I feel lucky to be playing at this beautiful stadium with this group of guys. They make my job easy in the back a lot of times, and then to be able to have that moment and share it with the fans who mean so much to me, and then also my family and her family, and all build up together on a win and win the Eastern Conference final or the Eastern Conference regular season. It's just a beautiful night.
You really put down some roots in Louisville, and it seems like it was important to have your teammates involved in that moment. Why is that?
The biggest thing for us is just like the group, the culture, and everyone being there for each other no matter what. We got each other's back on the field, off the field, and really, I think you see how close we are together on the field, and that's why a big reason why we've been so successful in the past and throughout the regular season is because we're such a close-knit, good group of guys, and it means a lot for me to share it with my close friends and teammates.
Looking back on this run, obviously, I think it's 11 unbeaten now. Is there a moment where you think things just kind of clicked and, you guys said you're not going to look back now?
Not really. Obviously we've had in the past, we've gone on some runs. I just think it's really, we believe the whole time. I think if you ask anyone, that there wasn't any time where they're like, okay, all right, now things are working. All right, there's games you see improvement, like game to game, but overall we never didn't believe. And I think the last game we lost was against them here, and that was a game we outplayed them. We got unlucky in some moments, but we started taking care of the critical moments and scoring early, and keeping the ball and defending well, and it's hard to beat us.
What inspired you to choose to propose to your fiance the way you did, and involving your teammates and the fans who came early enough to see it?
It's really, I think for anyone who's done it, and like people I've spoke to, you want it to be something that represents you, who you are. And we've started to build a family here in Louisville, and buying a home and laying down roots, and it's like I love this city, I love this team, And what better way to show who I am than do it here?
How much more, I guess, magic was kind of added to the moment with proposing to your now fiance and also getting wins tonight?
I mean, we come in expecting wins. Like we really come in, and it's not like, I mean, obviously, if there's something that goes on, like we're gonna be pissed in the locker room, and it's not really like we're out in the locker room, going crazy, because we expect to come out and get results against teams that are lower in the table. So, I mean, we thought today was a playoff game because if we won tonight and other results went the way they now did, we're in the position we now are.
Yeah, well, now with the conclusion of the regular season, I know you saw treated tonight like a playoff game. What's kind of the key now to help you all fully shift and get you where you need to be to perform your best in the postseason?
I mean, nothing changes. That's the key for us, is that the belief doesn't change. Nothing changes. We go at our business the same way. We try to keep the routines, the way we train, the details that we cover every day, and those things that accumulate over the season is what makes us successful over the end. Because it's not like, all right, we have to switch this on. If you have to have an on switch for a playoff time, it's too late.